we're live.
Awesome. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. We're here again. Sun is still shining in the Pacific Northwest, in case anybody was wondering. So I'm really excited about that. Getting in my morning sun and grounding has been amazing when it's not bitter cold and rainy. So my husband was kind enough to set up a canopy, so when it does start raining, I can still do grounding and not be so cold and wet. So I'm really thankful for him, and he bought a fire pit too. So this fall and winter, I'm all set up to continue my grounding. At least if it's cloudy and rainy, I can just sit under there, and that's really important to me and my healing. So yeah, I would highly suggest to you, if you haven't tried it, the sunbathing early in the morning to reset your circadian rhythm, and the grounding to get free electrons from the earth. It's just phenomenal. It's free, and it's just a game changer in your healing journey. So highly
Jen,
recommend.
this is tech for you. For some reason, our Facebook and Instagram feeds have failed. They were connected last night when I made the stream, but just everybody. Hi, this is Caroline, by the way. I'm teching for Jennifer, and they were all green lighted when I signed in, but then they failed to connect. So there may be some difficulties on our Facebook and Instagram platforms, but we are live on YouTube. So what I will do, Jen, is after we're done, this is being recorded, I'll make sure to add the link to Facebook and Instagram so that people can watch the recording.
Wonderful. Awesome. Well, then they get to enjoy it later. And then if you have any questions, I'm sure I will remind you again, but if you have any questions when you were viewing this recording, you can feel free to reach out to me at jennifer@gastraining.com, and I'll be happy to answer them. But today, I want to talk about a few things. So first, I'm super excited that we're holding our first concilium for our graduates at actually 12:30. So this is a new thing that we're doing for our graduates. It's where all of the CGPs and CGCs get together and they do a case study, and they just kind of share, their experience, their clinical experience, so that we can grow together as a community and that we can share the knowledge that we've acquired while we're seeing clients or patients. So we have a huge dedicated following to that. We've gotten tons of emails from our graduates who are super excited to take part in that. So I'm excited that we're offering that to our graduates, and that you get to be part of that once you graduate either the CGC or CGP training. So that's awesome. Speaking of brilliant minds coming together, recently in the US, a group of doctors, psychologists, and senators, and just health influencers got together at our Senate in DC and held a roundtable, a health and wellness roundtable called Second Opinion. It's about 4 hours long, but if you have not had a chance to view that, I highly suggest you do. It was well worth the 4 hours to watch it. Of course, you can watch it on 2-speed too. That's a good hack to save some time. But there is such valuable information on there about our medical system and our food system, and how that interplays with the failing health of America, and not only America, but the world. As we kind of westernize the world, we're seeing a lot of those processed foods go overseas, and having a detrimental effect on the lives of our fellow Earth people. So one of the things that they talked about was our food system. Of course, if you follow the money and you go down kind of the rabbit hole, you'll find that there, of all of the brands out there of processed food, ultra processed food, there's only a handful of companies that own all of those brands. So that is a big, huge influence on our food system and the food that we intake. And they have unlimited resources. So they kind of go unchecked as far as how they process the food, what additives that they use. and a lot of information with the internet and people just doing research. And like I said before, people, especially moms, will do better research than the FBI when it comes to the health of their kids, for the health of themselves. So they're finding out that all of these additives, the food dyes, the preservatives, even how they grow and process the food, the seed oils, they all have just this cascading downward effect on our health. And there's a grassroots movement that is gaining traction on having us, call out these companies to demand better ingredients in the food, demand better manufacturing processes. And really, it's a call to get back to our ancestral roots, eating straight from, the ground, the air, the sea, just these whole nutrient-dense, real foods prepared properly to really nourish and cleanse our bodies. So I just saw this amazing movement in these presentations of the people in the audience really hearing some of them hearing this information for the first time. If you've been around in this community, the GAPS community, the health community, you have an idea, if not a very comprehensive understanding of how food can affect our health. And they were bringing this to the forefront of the people that don't necessarily have this knowledge, and how pesticides, herbicides, how that affects our food, and when we intake the food, how that affects our bodies as well. There was also, they were talking about the medical system. I am very thankful for doctors. They are really great in acute situations. And I really, truly believe that doctors have the best intentions in mind when they see a patient, but they're playing in a rigged system. They're playing in a system that is catered towards prescription drugs, and they are overworked, and they only have so many times, so many minutes to see a patient, and that's kind of what they're taught. They're not really taught nutrition in school. Come to find out, they get less than 8 hours, and nutrition is huge and can have a huge impact when it comes to the health of the body. So I believe that they're looking for answers. I believe that we have the power as people to change the medical system, to gear it towards more of a preventative care and less chronic, because if we're preventing disease, if we're living a lifestyle that is in balance with our circadian rhythm, if we're exercising, if we're reducing our stress, if we're limiting our toxins in our environment, the EMFs around us, if we're intaking really like delicious, gorgeous, nutrient-dense food that not only nourishes and heals, but cleanses our bodies, we're not going to need that intervention for chronic disease as much. So this is where our graduates fit in, and this is where we shine, because when you enroll in either the CGC, the GAPS coach, or the GAPS practitioner training, we teach you how to do this. We teach you not only how to, what foods nourish and cleanse and how to prepare them, but also it's a whole lifestyle change when you're on the GAPS protocol. You're going to bed with, 9 o'clock or 10 p.m. We want you to get good quality sleep and a great environment that's conducive for good quality sleep. We want you outside. We want you playing in the dirt. We want you relaxing. We want you moving your body. We want you to really connect with yourself, understanding the symptoms and being able to navigate when the challenges arise. We want you to connect with your community, with your fellow farmers. We want you to connect with the earth and growing your own food. So it's really, really at the heart of what they were talking about at this roundtable. So these doctors who are hearing this information for the first time, these parents, these people of chronic disease, suffering chronic disease, are hearing this information for the first time. They're looking for answers and looking for a direction. And that's where our graduates come in. They can guide people to be on the GAPS protocol, to help really achieve the vibrant health that we're all, it's our birthright, that we're all entitled to. Just having this amazing, vibrant health all the way up until, you have finished this journey on this earth. You don't have to be subject to growing old and having aches and pains and slowing down. You can grow old with ease and with, integrity too, and just being under your own power and feeling great and being able to be around for your grandkids and your great grandkids and playing with them, being able to enjoy your golden years, travel, just participate in activities and things like that. You're not doomed to growing old and your mobility suffering and your mind suffering. It can be such a wonderful and valuable and joyous process. So that's kind of what we give when you enroll in our courses, and then when you complete the training and you get to share to your fellow community and your patients and your clients. So we definitely give the message of hope with the GAPS protocol, and we teach you the tools to not only implement, but able to navigate that protocol, because not everybody is going to respond the same, depending on where they start and how toxic their body is and what their lifestyle is. And it's not a one size fits all. It's definitely not, you have to do it this way, or, we can't help you. You can customize it and personalize it to each client, depending on where they are in their journey. If they're just starting out and they see it, the GAPS protocol, and they're overwhelmed, that's okay. That's okay. We can start small. We can start with just incorporating a few elements of the protocol. And then as they get comfortable, we can incorporate more. It's not, you don't have to start here or nothing. So we teach you that how to, meet your client where you're at and navigate them through their own personalized journey through the protocol, so that they can achieve the health and wellness that they want. So yeah, that's kind of what we offer. We're really proud of our program. We're really proud of our graduates doing that amazing work out there and changing the lives of the generations to come, because it'll have a downriver effect on their clients and their clients' children and their clients' children's children. So we are raising and trying to create strong, healthy generations, so that our species can live and thrive on this beautiful planet. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to share today. I don't know if there's any questions. I know that Caroline kind of had a couple of frequently asked questions about our training. So let me grab a sip of water. So important. But I know that one of the frequently asked questions for our training is that, can I do it with a full-time job? And we've had, with either training, either the coach training or the GAPS practitioner training, we've had students complete the training with a full-time job. And being a mom is a full-time job. I will say that right now. So that's even true if you have kids and you're at home and don't know if you can complete the training. We have had moms that have children complete the training. We've had people that have full practices, full-time jobs, that want to change careers from every walk of life. What I highly suggest is that before the training begins, that you kind of start working on your required reading, because that is what's going to take the most time. We have you read all of Dr. Natasha's books in their entirety, as well as Chef Monica's book. So if you can get those kind of knocked out ahead of time, make notes along the way is helpful, or highlight things. My books are all highlighted. That would put you kind of ahead of your coursework before you even started the course. We suggest that you start kind of budgeting and scheduling time out, like carving out time in your schedule to set aside, an hour or two each day to dive into your coursework, kind of just, you can put your head down, listen to your video lectures, work on your practical assignments, and then the CGC and the upcoming actually CGP will have a 3-week a break that's a cumulative of 3 weeks. So the first break will be 1 week and the second break will be 2 weeks. And that's really time for you to either catch up on your coursework if you're behind, or you can use that time if you're all caught up to disconnect and reconnect with family, friends, yourself, nature. So we build in that extra time so that you can have that and use it however you want and need. But we're there on the forums, the GAPS Guide instructors and myself, and then even your GAPS guides to answer any questions. If you have a question while you're in the kitchen, you can post it on the forum and Chef Monica will get back to you. If you have a question about a client that you're seeing with the GAPS protocol, you can post it on the forum and either the GAPS Guide or Amy Mahaly will get back to you. I will be with you through every step of the training. So the moment that you contact us interested in the training, you're talking to myself, and then I will see you through the whole way and pass you off to Jordan, who is our amazing grad community coordinator, and she will get you all set up in our graduate portal where you can continue to learn more about the GAPS protocol, about business knowledge, information. We have a whole business webinar series to set you up and get you all ready to start your GAPS business. And then, like I said, we have the Consilium now going on. That's kind of a think tank for our grads to participate in. So we will be with you every step of the way, supporting your journey, answering any questions you have, and we love to hear feedback as well so that we can continue to make improvements on the training to help more people learn this amazing protocol. So it's definitely doable with a full-time job. You will have to, of course, budget your time and make room and intention for the training. So that, yeah, if you have any questions about a specific situation, like I said, you can feel free to email me or ask a question here. But another frequently asked question we receive is, why would, if Dr. Natasha's books have the protocol, why would somebody seek you out versus just doing the protocol by reading the books? And we've had people read the books and do the protocol themselves. We've also had those people go through mostly the coach training and really thankful that they did, because they missed a few steps in the protocol and they were able to implement that during the training and see an even deeper level of healing, or they realized that they had been, maybe even making like meat stock incorrectly, or, they experienced constipation and they didn't realize that they needed to adjust a certain way, and that resolved everything with their bowel movements, and they're right on track. So it's definitely, the protocol is definitely nuanced to each individual depending on how they respond. The die-off can be huge when you first start the protocol in the intro diet. Some people can only do a teaspoon of meat stock without experiencing significant die-off. And die-off would be fatigue, body aches, kind of like feeling like the flu, maybe muscle and joint pain. So we really teach you to not only navigate that, but help the body get through all of that die-off by incorporating more detox protocols. And that's huge because in other protocols, I'm thinking of a friend in particular right now is going through a program. She is experiencing huge die-off symptoms. And I said, well, what are you doing for detox? How are you eliminating those toxins that are freeing in your body and kind of wreaking havoc? How are we, navigating that and getting rid of them? And I asked her about her bowel movements, because that's, when you start into nutrition or health, that's the first question you have with people. So they just have to be comfortable. Like, are you having bowel movements? What number on the Bristol stool chart? What do they look like? Things, how often are you going? So that's just something that, I bring up, and my husband laughs every single time because I don't have to know somebody that well to even ask them that question. So, but this person wasn't having bowel movements every day. And I said, well, you can sit outside in the sunbathe and ground. You can do detox baths. You can do an enema, and I can tell you how to do that. So we were kind of, and this is a close friend too, because I wouldn't take on anybody that I didn't know. But yeah, definitely a huge piece that I think a lot of protocols kind of miss. When it comes to elimination, because we don't want our clients suffering either. We want them it to be manageable, for them to carry on with their day and their duties, because life doesn't stop, especially, if you have a job or you're a mom, life doesn't stop when you don't feel well. So just enough to kind of continue your day and rest when you can and get those toxins eliminated. So that's definitely something that we bring with the GAPS protocol as well, that most people, especially even reading the book, they don't sometimes they don't get how important that piece is to manage it. And they just feel, sometimes people just read the book, implement the diet, and go, oh, I don't feel good, this is not for me, and stop and give up because they were having huge die-off symptoms. So that's something that we can, be as CGPs or CGCs, we can be there, and we can encourage them to go forward. We can give them the tools necessary to handle that. And not everyone is going to, like I said, react the same. So we give you tools to know in, what situation, how to adjust the protocol accordingly. So that's something that we teach in the course. And then just motivating the clients, giving them resources, getting them, in the kitchen, making their own food, showing them how to make yogurt, showing them how to make meat stock, because that culinary aspect, especially in today's kitchens, it's missed. It was missed even in my kitchen for, I found the GAPS protocol. I made my meals from scratch, but I didn't, make my meat stock. I bought it. Shame, you have to start somewhere, right? So I bought, boxes of stock to use, in my soups and stuff, bone broth or, meat stocks. And now I make it every single, I probably make like 2 or 3 pots a week, because my family just, drinks it by the cup, or we use it in recipes, especially now that it's getting fall and winter. I use it a lot. I make my own yogurt instead of buying it. It's so much better. I get to control the quality of ingredients. I met my farmer who supplies the dairy. I know what probiotics are in there. I know what starter is in there. And it just tastes so much better when it's homemade. And I also make all my sauerkraut, which saves me a lot of money, because little jar of sauerkraut can be very expensive in the stores. So that's something that we bring as well, as CGCs and CGPs, is this knowledge of how to not only make these incredible nourishing foods, but confidence in the kitchen on how to do it. So that's absolutely necessary when you're working with the GAPS protocol, because we want most of the food to be homemade. We want to stay away from processed foods, ultra processed foods. We want you to have control over the quality of ingredients. We want you to have control over what goes into the food. And I'm not just talking about, the ingredients. I'm talking about even the energy that you put into the food, the love. Like my son always says, he can taste the love in my food. That care, that, that energy is different, when you buy something versus when, your grandma makes you something, when your mom makes you something. There's usually nothing better than eating a home cooked meal from your mom, because she puts love in there. And that is absolutely changes the dish and changes the energy. And then it has an effect on how it is, all of that food, all of those molecules are utilized in your body to help heal and nourish you. So, yeah. And then let's see. Another frequently asked question is there a final exam during the course? And so both for the CGP and CGC, we don't have a final exam per se. The course work is broken up into quizzes, and these quizzes are either multiple choice, fill in the blanks, or true or false. And we have a quiz for every module. It will go over the what you've learned in the video lectures and the required reading. We have essays in each module, and those are just a question chosen from your required reading on the video lectures, just a key concept we want you to really grasp. And we want you to write these essays from the point of view as you are educating a client, so that when you're talking with a client, you're going to talk a little bit, speak to them a little bit differently than when you're talking to a colleague, or even, like a colleague or somebody that has been in this arena, this health arena for a very long time. You're going to speak differently to them because you want them to understand and grasp. And, they're new to this kind of all this whole health and nutrition world, possibly. So we want you to write each essay from the perspective of educating the clients. And that way, when you graduate, you can take this essay and you already have something to pass out to your client as a handout to put onto, your website. Under your frequently asked questions, you have a kind of the start of a script to do a video for your clients if you have a YouTube channel or Instagram or social media. So we want to give you those tools so that, when you're in practice, you could just start and go. Those essays can be utilized in so many different ways in your practice. Each module will also have practical assignments. So some of them will have practical food assignments. So we want you in the kitchen. We want you making these GAPS foods. We want you to feel really confident and excited about making all of these and being able to teach them to your clients. Chef Monica will be grading all of your practical food assignments, and she's so great at getting feedback, and she really wants you to understand all those little nuances to really make that GAPS food come alive and be able to, heal and nourish the body. So she works with you, providing feedback, and really wants you to grasp that. You will also have some practical assignments. So we have a practical enema assignment. So we want you to administer an enema on yourself. This will help give you firsthand knowledge of what you're asking a client to do, which is really, really important. You can speak from a firsthand experience of going through that process. So that will be an assignment as well. And then we have you do 21 days on the intro diet. And this assignment will also help you gain that firsthand knowledge that we kind of talked about. You will be going through each stage and progressing as your body allows. So when I say that you're going through 21 days of the intro diet, we don't expect you to start from stage 1 and end up at stage 6 in 21 days, because that would be too quick for most people, and not all people will, like I said, react the same to the protocol. So the purpose of this assignment is to see how well you can implement the diet and navigate the diet. So you'll be journaling your whole way through the 21 days. And as you're journaling, if you're experiencing constipation, we want to see how you remedied that constipation. What tools did you use that you've learned through the course to resolve that? So we're looking for how are you working the diet. And then we have a practice client assignment, which is broken up into a few assignments during the course of the training. You will be seeing a practice client, so we want you to choose somebody that is that will be receptive to what you are learning, that will be willing to go on this journey with you, that will be willing to implement not only the protocol, but make all of the GAPS foods, implement the detox protocols, just really embrace what you are teaching them. We want somebody that, everybody, we want to help everybody, right? And usually I have students that choose the most unwell person that they can find, because they're suffering and they want to, bring them back to health. And the purpose of this assignment, we ask that you start with somebody that, has enough energy to, make the foods. They have, the passion to kind of follow through with the protocol, the motivation to as well. So we suggest that you choose somebody that can follow through with the protocol as well. And that way, when, after you graduate, you can help those people. You have the tools and necessary to kind of implement maybe your cooking for them with their meat stock and stuff to kind of get them started. So we ask that you find somebody that is willing and ready and able to go on the journey with you. So the practice client assignment, the 21-day intro diet assignment, those two are going to be your bigger assignments that are going to follow you throughout the training a little bit. There's going to be little assignments all throughout that accumulate into one big assignment at the very end. So those are the kind of the coursework that you're going to go through as you finish the training. There's no, like I said, there's no final exam. We're really looking for real world application of the of how well you're able to implement and adjust and navigate the protocol, and seeing that you have a comprehensive understanding of all of the skill sets that you need, whether the detox protocols or the practical food assignments, that you are ready to share that with your clients and teach them how to do that themselves. So let's see. And then, let's see. I have the required reading. You can get the required reading anywhere you want. If you find it, like I think I said on the last open house, every time I love thrift stores because I go in and I check the books, and my husband and my son get upset at me because I can spend a lot of time just going through all of the books, and I have a huge IKEA 5x5 bookcase that is filled to the brim. But all that said is, anytime I find a GAPS book or anytime I find like a Nourishing Traditions book, I go ahead and grab it so that way I can pass it out to people I know too. I just gave a Nourishing Traditions away to one of my friends. She was really excited about it. But if you find it at a thrift store, the required reading, you can buy it there. You can buy it online on online bookstores. We do provide some vetted resources that you can buy the required reading from, like the gapsdiet.com or Selene River Press for Chef Monica's book. And then if you're international, Selene River Press sells Chef Monica's book as a PDF that you can download and have instant access to. There's Chelsea Green and Chelsea Green UK for our international students. And then gapsdiet.com also has an international partner, international, what do you call it? Kind of like, I guess, business, or I can't think of the word right now, counterpart to Nutrivene.com. So we provide those listings for you so that you can purchase your required reading there. If you wanted to purchase it all as one kit, one bundle, or if you wanted to kind of piece them together from different local resources, you're welcome to do that as well. So, and then if you can't find one, we'll help you find a copy of whatever book you're missing. So, yeah. And then, let's see. I don't know if there's any other questions. Let me see. I can try and pop one up here. I think, so I know people ask, once I'm a CGC, can I become a CGP? So if I'm a GAPS coach, if I went through the training and I successfully completed it, been in practice and wanted to go on to become a GAPS practitioner, am I qualified to do that? And so what we tell people is that the GAPS coach training does not automatically qualify you to enroll in the GAPS practitioner training. However, we do have some vetted training courses that meet all those requirements to enroll in the practitioner training. So we've had GAPS coaches go on to get that additional training, whatever piece they're missing, and then enroll in the GAPS practitioner training. And we've had GAPS practitioners also come back and enroll in the GAPS coach training too, because the GAPS coach training, you're going to get more hands-on skill set. You're going to, when we teach that training, you're going to be in the kind of like, the front lines of your client. So we're teaching you to work with your client, really demonstrating those cooking skills. You have a couple more cooking assignments in the coach training where you have a whole client consultation process that we provide for you. All of these client documents, intake documents, assessment forms, checklists, restock lists, and then we have you really, really focus on the diet and lifestyle, whereas the GAPS practitioner, you're already in practice, you're already a health practitioner. So we're teaching you how to add this protocol to your existing practice, to your existing client consultation process. And, you might have the ability to work with supplements. So you'll be adding maybe some supplements to the protocol as well. And then really you can dive into some testing if you want to, if you're already a health practitioner and qualified to do so. So we're really looking at the practitioner from a clinical skill set and teaching you how to implement the diet in your already existing practice. You will get the cooking skills and the detox protocols. The practitioner training has a best practices protocol manual that we kind of give to you. Is a collection of all of the best practices that our graduates have accumulated that we provide. So we've had people go enroll in both trainings. It's just they're two separate. So like GAPS practitioners can work with GAPS coaches. If you're already in a busy practice and you don't have that time to really teach that hands-on skills, because every client will be different, of course. Some will be really handy in the kitchen and others will, not be so much. This might be the first time that they've really spent in their kitchen, and that's that is, this day and age, DoorDash is huge in the US. Ordering your food or cooking, from processed foods. That's just the way that we've kind of, I don't want to say evolved, but our society has moved towards convenience foods. So this might be the first time that somebody's actually made a pot of stock. They've actually made a meal from scratch. And that is something that is truly wonderful and something that should be handed down. So if you're busy in your GAPS practitioner practice and don't have time to really get down into the cooking skills or the detox or answering and supporting questions, that's where you can work in tandem with a GAPS coach. You can provide them with a customized protocol that you've made for this client, and then you can pair them with the GAPS coach so that the GAPS coach can go into the stores and do a grocery store tour, or go to the farmer's market, or go to their local farm and really help them to source these great quality food ingredients. They can be in the kitchen with them and teaching, either in the individual client's kitchen, or they can host group classes where they teach a whole bunch of your clients all together, and you guys can work in tandem that way as well. I know Amy Mahali is a really great example of working with GAPS practitioners and coaches in her practice. So it's really, they're two separate professions, and we've had practitioners, like I said, come back and do the coach and vice versa. So yeah, you have to make sure that you have all of the qualifications, you meet all the qualifications to enroll in the GAPS practitioner training, you need to be in active practice and have extensive training, formal training in anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, and nutrition. So if you meet all of those requirements, and like I said, we have a few schools that we recommend in trainings that I can send you if you're interested. If you meet those requirements, then you can enroll in the GAPS practitioner training. And I just love to see when students come back too, because I get such a short time with you, and you know, in the health world, you get to really know some people that, you know, because we share a lot, and so it's really neat to see people come back and really go through the other training as well. So I really enjoy it when you guys come back too. How are you supported through the training? So during the training, we have GAPS instructors. These GAPS instructors, Amy Mahaly and Chef Monica. Amy Mahaly is a GAPS practitioner. She is a nurse, family nurse practitioner. She owns a clinic in Loveland, Colorado, Be Well Clinic. And she has years and years of clinical experience implementing the GAPS protocol in all different ways. So she works with her clients, meets her clients where they're at. Sometimes they're practicing GAPS. So practicing GAPS means they're just kind of starting out, reading the book. They're learning to make all of these GAPS foods one by one. They're starting to implement some detox practices. And then when they're ready, they can, you know, be on an official kind of protocol, like either the intro diet to full GAPS, keto GAPS, you know, no plant GAPS, which is kind of gaining traction now with the whole carnivore movement. So she has great experience, you know, implementing the protocol and utilizing it in many different ways that she shares with the students. Chef Monica is your resource and go-to for everything GAPS food and GAPS cooking techniques. She was dubbed the GAPS chef by Dr. Natasha, and she absolutely earns that title. She is a whiz in the kitchen. She, I first started making meat stock, for example. I started making meat stock from the book, and it didn't gel as much that I wanted to. It didn't get that real jiggly, solidified, like Jello on a spoon type, you know, thing. And so I, after I talked to Chef Monica and I watched her video in the training, my stock gels every single time. And I'm grateful for that. She really, really works, like I said, to help you understand the cooking techniques and the just why we do it, and you know how to troubleshoot too in the kitchen, because sometimes, especially when you're fermenting and culturing, things can go awry. So she's there to help you while you're having your adventures in the kitchen. And then in the GAPS coach course, we have Linda Patterson. She is a certified GAPS practitioner. She is our go-to for fussy eating and mealtime management. She before she even became a GAPS practitioner, she helped her son Riley through the protocol. He was diagnosed nonverbal, I believe, when he was 3. So she did research before even, the internet was huge and we were all connected. It was there, but it wasn't in the capacity that it was now. And there was no communities like there was now, that there is now. And she found GAPS. She worked the protocol. She documented Riley's journey, and now she helps our students, our coach students, really help with fussy eating and mealtime management, because that can be a huge obstacle with parents. A lot of kids are fussy eaters, and so we help you understand why they're fussy eaters and give you the tools through the mealtime management to help overcome that fussy eating. So she is in our GAPS coach training. She also did a grad webinar that is in our grad portal for our CGPs on how to implement the mealtime management as well. And like I said, I will be with you through every step of your journey in becoming a GAPS coach or GAPS practitioner. I'm there for any technical questions you have, how to navigate our learning platform, what is the expectations of assignments, or just any question, or if you feel like you need a little bit of, support, or, I'm right there. If you're having any life challenges and just need to, kind of talk through how you're going to, complete the course and things, I'm here. So, whatever you need during the course, I'm kind of your go-to person for, just helping you navigate things and in motivating you. So, and then lastly, but not least, we have GAPS Guides. These are graduates of each program that have come back to be mentors for our students. So they will host weekly chats. They will dedicate 1 hour, usually on a Monday or Tuesday, each week to be available to you. You can pop into the chat. It's on a Zoom platform. You can just pop in, you can ask your question, you can pop out, you can stay for the whole hour. You can, spend time with your fellow students, and with the GAPS Guide, they're there to answer any questions you have about the curriculum, their experience through the training, or even their experience as a GAPS practitioner or a GAPS coach out in the world seeing clients. So they're really there to help support you and really make your, enhance your GAPS training as well. They will also hold a webinar, one a month, that will either dive deeper into a GAPS concept or present on a topic that complements a GAPS concept. So we've had, some of our GAPS guides talk about how to help your client find their why. We've had GAPS guides do a presentation on how to prepare organ meats. We've had somatic therapy and how it complements the GAPS protocol present as well. And we've had just this, even learning styles was one of the GAPS guide webinars that really kind of stuck out. Is everybody learns differently. So she, Mindy Lively, she's one of our CGC grads. She presented on, she's also homeschooling mom, I believe, 7 children. Yeah, she's a force, man. She is. But she's a long-time homeschooling mom. And so she presented on how people learn differently and all the different learning styles. And so that you're really ready to take on, if people are, auditory, if they're visual, if they, just any kind of learning style, you're ready to help and jump in. So they will have that webinar, and then they also have a forum where you can just pop in, ask questions if you want to them as well. So you're really, really supported throughout your whole journey in every aspect. If you have technical issues, or if you have kind of like questions about the training, if you have questions about the curriculum or real world application, we're there to support you every step of the way. And then when you graduate, you are moved to the graduate portal, where you will have access to the Consilium. And you have like I said, Jordan, who is our grad community coordinator, and she's there to help you, as you're in the grad portal, get you connected, and then you get your listing on gaps.me set up so that people know that you have graduated and that you're in practice, and we'll start sending clients your way. We have people all the time contacting us just to say, hey, I'm just found out about GAPS. I have a 3-year-old that was just diagnosed with autism. Is there anybody that can help me? And so we send the gaps.me website and the business listings to them so that they can check and contact whoever kind of resonates with them, whether they're in their area or their specialties, because we'll have you list, kind of what specialties you are, what languages you speak, and all of your business information there. So let's see. Okay. Commonly asked questions. So I have some pulled up here. Miss Caroline sent me. How many students are typically enrolled in each GAPS training course? And then, so we try and keep class sizes to about no more than 40 students. And we find that that number, usually kind of the sweet spot is like maybe mid 30s. That way our GAPS guides, our GAPS instructors can give individual feedback. Everybody can have their questions answered. And it's a really great size for community as well, because you'll never know how many connections you make that are lifelong friendships in the class as well. Maybe you find that you work well together. So it's definitely that's the size that we've found that works for our trainings online. And then, is the cost of the required reading books included in the tuition fee? And no, the required reading is a separate cost, but like I said, you can find the required reading anywhere you wish. And then we will, upon registration, we do send the vetted list that we recommend. If you can't find it on your own, we recommend to buy it from. Okay. So, this is a big one. Can I progress through the course modules at my own pace? Is offline accessible and available? So, yes, you can progress through the course modules at your own pace. We recommend that you stay within the given course outline. So we give you a course outline. It goes by week, what module you should be in. And then if we have a Q&A webinar that week, it'll be all on that course outline. So we ask that you kind of stay within that course outline, just because you will be then at the point in the curriculum when we have the Q&As, so that either you're not behind or you're not too much ahead. The Q&As will be relevant as well. So you can complete the training, the coursework at your own pace. So everybody has different schedules that they can work in. You have that freedom to do that, as long as your coursework is completed by the course end date and kind of staying within that course outline. We strongly suggest that you stay within that. And then, is offline access available? So if for some reason you can't log in to your to the portal for a few days, you can definitely work offline. We have a document that is a course overview that it tells you everything about, has all of the coursework and module work laid out for you, so that you can not only budget your time, but you can also start working on your essays. Or if you have a practical food assignment coming up, you can kind of review that. We recommend that you print that out and that you hang it somewhere where it's visible along with the course outline, because that comprehensive document will tell you that you have like a yogurt, you're in module 3 and you need to make yogurt this week. So you can buy all the ingredients and have everything ready. You can see, okay, I need to read my required reading. I need to read page 1 through 88 of this book, and then 2 through 20 of this book. And so then you can complete your required reading offline if you wish, and you can work on your essays offline, and then just upload them to the portal when you're ready. You can make your practical food assignments. The quizzes will need to be done online, and then any submitting your assignments you have to be doing online, but you can start working offline if you can't be at a computer the whole time. And it says, upon enrollment, do I gain access to my GAPS training course? So when you enroll, we set you up and register you for class. We give access to all of these students at the same time. You'll receive a email from me the Monday before class begins. Class begins on a Friday. So Monday before class begins, I will send you an important email with that course outline, that course overview, a tutorial of how to log in and navigate the system. And then on Wednesday, you will gain access to the Wednesday before the official start of class. You will gain access to the GAPS training portal, and you can start looking around. You can put up your profile. You can put up your student bio, and just really get familiar with the system, which is it's a really great system. It's user friendly, easy to navigate, but you can start becoming familiar with the system, so that when we start the training on Friday, and then that weekend you are just ready to dive into your studies and take off. So everybody will gain access at the same time the Wednesday before the training begins, which our GAPS coach training is about to begin on October 11th. So I just put the finishing touches on the virtual classroom this morning, and I will be sending that email on Monday to our registered students. If you would like to register for the GAPS coach training, there is still time. We are still accepting applications and or enrollment forms. So if you think that this is something you want to do, if you want to build your career around the gut microbiome and helping people achieve, just amazing health and through great food and a more natural lifestyle, then you are in the right place, and you can contact us. You can either email me directly at jennifer@gapstraining.com, or you can go to our website, gapstraining.com, and read about the qualifications for a GAPS coach student, which are if you wanted to enroll as a GAPS coach student, the qualifications would be to either have implemented the diet on yourself or helps guide somebody through with about a year, 6 months to a year. We kind of lean towards more a year, but it's individual too. You can share your story with me. Or if you're a professional that just wants to add the GAPS protocol to your repertoire, say you're a psychologist or a massage therapist, if you wanted to kind of add that skill set to your offerings, you qualify for the GAPS coach training as well. So like I said, you can go through our website, gapstraining.com, or you can contact me directly, and I will be happy to discuss your qualifications or send you an enrollment packet. The cutoff date for registration is October 11th. We are offering a few things. So if you pay your tuition in full by October 11th in one payment, you receive $200 off of the tuition. We also have an extended payment plan that allows you to pay your tuition as you're earning a certification. So we can break up your tuition, divide your tuition into 2, 3, or 4 payments. That way it's a little bit more manageable. If finances are tight, everybody is kind of, dealing with that at the moment with the economy and stuff. So we don't want that to be a barrier from you, achieving, your GAPS coach dream, or even your, just wanting to start a new business and a new path for your career. So we will work with you with finances. We can, like I said, divide your tuition. And then for the GAPS practitioner training, our recent class is already going, and we will be opening registration for our March class at the middle of this month. So probably around October 15th, we'll send out an announcement for people that are on the wait list, and then post it on our website as well that registration is open. And it will be kind of the same, where if you pay your tuition all in full, you'll receive that $200 off. And then because the class beginning, so if you went upon your registration, you'll make your first payment, and then we can break up your tuition into divide your tuition into payments as well. And all of that information is available on our website, as well as the enrollment packet too. And then, of course, you can always email me for questions if you have them. The tuition includes 1 free year of our grad portal. So once you graduate, you receive a year free membership to our grad portal, so that you can kind of take a look around, look at the business resources, join the Consilium, review all of we have, I think, 3 or 4 years of grad webinars. We held a grad webinar every single month from guest speakers. Amy Mahali hosted, Chef Monica, so Dr. Natasha hosted as well. So all of those recordings are in there. There's hours and hours and hours of information that you can just spend that whole year diving into. and learning everything about the GAPS protocol or a complimentary practice. So you can review those at your leisure. After 1 year, the membership fee is $99, and that just helps keep you access to the GAPS training portal and all the repository, the research repository, all of the training videos, your business resources, your GAPS.me listing, business listing, as well as the Consilium. So just $99 a year, and you have access to all of that wonderful information and resources. And then, let's see. So are the live Q&A training webinars with instructors recorded for later viewing? Yes. We do record all of the live events. So not only the live Q&As with the GAPS instructors, but we record the GAPS chats, the GAPS guide webinars, any live event that we have in the course, because like I said, we know that everybody kind of has different schedules and can't make everything, and we're in different time zones. We record all of those, and I will put them up within 24 hours in the forum so that you can review those at a later date, that's a later time that's more convenient for you. We do make mandatory that you review the Q&A webinars because with the GAPS instructors, because that will help you in your coursework of where you are with your training. The GAPS chats, the weekly chats, aren't mandatory to review. However, they're highly recommended. Some amazing information is shared, and you'll never know what you'll learn. And once those recordings are up, you can download those recordings so that you have them in your personal library even after the training ends, so that you can refer back to them over and over again. You'll always learn something new watching them. I have all of them on my hard drive since I started the GAPS training, and I review them, regularly. Just kind of going through, and you're always in a different place in your journey, right? You're always in a different place in your learning. You'll always learn something new. Something will just click and go, oh, okay, that's what they were talking about. So that's just something that, we make available to you, that you can download the live events and kind of refer back to them. If you like, hey, what did Amy Mihaly say about iodine? I can't remember. She said, and so you can always refer back and look at those. The live events do not follow you into the grad portal. So as soon as they come out, make sure you download them, because I do have to erase them at the end of the class. Even I have to download them. And so Chef Monica and Amy Mihaly do too. Anybody that wants those, because we have to make room for the new class, but they are available for you to have. Okay, so yes, does your certification courses include business development content? So it does. Our last module is dedicated to your GAPS practice, kind of getting through, code of ethics and your role as a GAPS coach or GAPS practitioner. There is a 5-step roadmap from Jessica Pantamule, who is the founder of the Holistic Entrepreneurship Association. So she will get you started with that presentation. And then once you are in the grad portal, we have a whole module just based on the graduate or the business webinar series hosted by Jessica Pantamule, as well as business resources. And then you have a free 3-month membership to Jessica's Holistic Entrepreneurship Association that you can take advantage of to learn even more about how to find clients, designing your business. So we really try and take care of you and include that in not only the training, but your grad portal and membership as well. Okay. So do you offer any scholarships that can be applied to my course tuition? So at the moment, we do not have any scholarships available. However, we do have the $200 off if you pay the tuition in full. We also try and throw in some bonuses too as well, because we are invested in you as a student and want you to have a great experience and continue your learning. So we have created a OnCon showcase. So our OnCon is our online conference, and this is I think we've done it 4 years in a row now. Three years maybe, and like this next year will be 4 years. Not quite sure, somewhere around there. But we've included a highlight reel of all of our conferences together. And each year is a different, kind of a different theme. This year, ironically enough, is all about metabolic health. And that we came up with that, or I think Carolyn actually came up with that, our executive director. Even before this whole roundtable, Dr. Casey Means, which if you haven't checked out Dr. Casey Means, she is the one kind of bringing the whole metabolic health to the forefront currently. So I recommend checking her out on YouTube. She has done a whole bunch of interviews on metabolic health and getting back to natural, real foods. But that's just such a hot topic right now. And that is what our conference is going to be about this year. So before I jump into that, because I have something excited, the online or the OnCon showcase has highlight reels from every single OnCon we've done. And it's about 22 plus hours of content. It's, if you were to buy it, it was $349 plus. We give that to you for free when you enroll in the course. So that way you can not only continue your education with, furthering education, but you can also, just as a perk to enroll and experience, so you can also experience our OnCon, so that you can see if you wanted to attend this next year, which I highly recommend. And as students, you will receive 25% off of even early birds. When we have our early bird for our conference, you will receive 25% off of that ticket price as enrolled students. And so it's worth taking advantage of too. So we try and offer things like that since we don't have any scholarships at the moment. But we'll work with you with payments if you can't pay in full. So like I said, we have the extended payment plan. So definitely reach out to us and we can talk to you. Okay, so let's see. Does taking the Getting Started on GAPS course, which is our do-it-yourself course created by Amy Mahali, does that qualify me to take the coach certification course? That is an amazing course, especially if you're just new to GAPS and you wanted to go through that do-it-yourself course as with a guided, with Amy Mahali, who is, like I said, a certified GAPS practitioner. She will be guiding you through that training and helping you to implement that. But that alone won't qualify you to, it doesn't meet the length of time that we need. We're looking for about 6 months to a year. We're really implementing the GAPS protocol. So you have some time in that course to, become familiar with GAPS and to set up for your GAPS protocol. So that definitely gets you ready for the GAPS coach training if you wanted to participate in that training. And then after that course, Getting Started on GAPS course, if you still implemented the GAPS protocol for 6 months to a year of really solidly being on that protocol and gaining that experience, you're more than welcome to enroll in the GAPS coach training. If you want to take this knowledge and turn it into passion and turn it into a business and help others through the protocol. So we'd definitely love to have you. But we do need you to have that 6 month to a year experience. Okay. Let's see. What is the refund policy if I need to drop the course? So of course, life happens. we know that. So we are, so in the enrollment packet, you will find a withdrawal and refund policy. And it clearly states when a refund is, let me pull one up before, I don't want to misspeak. Let's see. Missions. So I will pull up, I'll pull up the CGC one. So Okay. So if you have to withdraw up to 60 days or more before the training, before the start of the training, you will receive the total amount of tuition you paid. So up to 60 days or more before the start of the training, you will receive the total amount you paid, less the $200 administration fee. So we do deduct $200 for an administration fee. If you withdraw within the first 2 weeks of the course, you can choose to have GAPS training hold your tuition for a future training up to a year. So if you enrolled in the, for example, if you enrolled in the October training of this year, October 2024, and you needed to drop for whatever reason, maybe you just started the training and you got a new job, or you found out you had to move. I'm a military brat, so I totally understand that. We can hold your tuition up to a year, and then you can either re-enroll in the April 2025 training or the October 2025 training. Or you can receive a refund of your tuition minus $299 administration fee. And then if you have to withdraw within 3 to 5 weeks of the training, we will prorate your tuition based on the number of weeks you have completed, and then minus that, the administration fee of $299. If you withdraw after the first 6 weeks of the training, because we're about halfway to that, through the training at that point, you will need to refer to your re-entry options, and then no tuition will be, refunds will be given at this point. But you will have, you may have a re-entry option that allows you to come back and join us within a year of, hold your tuition that you've paid so far, and then join us again within a year of your original enrollment. So we try and be fair, because we do know life happens, and circumstances sometimes aren't what you want them to be. So we try and plan as best as possible for that. But yeah, let's see. I think that is it. Okay. Let me see one thing. Okay. So, like I said, we have the GAPS practitioner training already going, and they are off and running, starting to grade homework, and I'm really enjoying the class. There is, so that's already going. Our next class will be in March for the GAPS practitioner training.